Welcome back, dear students, on our second episode of History class with me, Miss Apui. First of all, take out your textbook and turn to page 29, theme 2. Okay, today's topic will be writing and city life. This chapter is very important because in this chapter we are going to study about Mesopotamia and how from this city writing had developed. First of all, from the introductory page, you are going to get lots of questions which I will give you at the end of the lesson. Okay, first of all, at the right corner, you will find the meaning of the name of Mesopotamia. There you will find the name Mesopotamia is derived from the Greek words mesos meaning middle and potamos meaning river. So, from the first introduction, you will find that city life began in Mesopotamia. So Mesopotamia, the name is derived from the Greek word mesos, which means middle, and potamos, meaning river. So Mesopotamia is the land between the two rivers, the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers, which is now part of the Republic of Iraq. So Mesopotamia in today's world is Iraq. Mesopotamia civilization is known for its prosperity and city life, its voluminous and rich literature, and its mathematics and astronomy. Writing first began in Mesopotamia. Hemi chapter hian Mesopotamia ram chanchin kan zirdona ngatinge kan zirna chan. After chapter heading akhan writing and city life ti kan hua. Writing Zia kan ti hi Mesopotamia hawin undeveloped anron hu chu ani chuan ahma sapira khan Mesopotamia ara akhoming omzia akha kan hua Greek tonga tanga lak ania Mesos ti kha middle lai soina ania chuan Potamos kha river lui ti na chuwa chuan aming omzia chu Mesopotamia kan ti hi aming omzia chu lui in kar khwa lo om soina anita a chuan tun lai khowela chuan Iraq kan ti khu Mesopotamia kan ti thina hi alo nita a tin he civilization hi aropui a hun lai khan tin aropui na chu literature an sang a khopui a hausa boka khopui nun ti hemi khopui lun kan ti ang chi hi an tem ma sa boka tin chumi ba ka chuan mathematics le astronomy an sang bokani. So in this chapter, first we will see the importance of Mesopotamia, how travelers and scholars looked on Mesopotamia as an ancestral land, and also we will find the different kinds of languages which developed in Mesopotamia. So while explaining, I will tell you some of the questions which you will have to answer later on. First question you will get will be explain the word Mesopotamia. We have already done that. And then second question you will get will be what was the first known language of Mesopotamia, which language replaced it, and in which year. That you will find in the second paragraph. The first known language of Mesopotamia was Sumerian, and Sumerian was gradually replaced by Akkadian around 2400 BCE. When you write down your answer, you will have to mention the date as well. Sumerian was replaced by Akkadian around 2400 BCE when Akkadian speakers arrived. And this language flourished till about Alexander's time, that is 336 to 323 BCE, with some regional changes occurring. And then Akkadian was replaced from 1400 BCE by Aramaic. Also, this language is similar to Hebrew, which became widely spoken after 1000 BCE, and it is still spoken in parts of Iraq. So, regarding language, The first known language was Sumerian. It was replaced by Akkadian around 2400 BCE. Akkadian was replaced by Aramaic around 1400 BCE. Aramaic language is similar to Hebrew language. Okay, the third paragraph, you will get a question later. When did archaeology begin in Mesopotamia, and what can we study from this? Importance of archaeology in Mesopotamia. Archaeology in Mesopotamia began in the 1840s. What was the importance? From archaeology, not only can we study hundreds of Mesopotamian buildings, statues, ornaments, graves, tools, and seals as sources, there are thousands of written documents. From archaeology, we were able to study many things about the Mesopotamian history. They discovered Mesopotamian buildings, statues, ornaments, graves, tools, and seals as sources. There are also thousands of written documents which have been discovered by the archaeologists. Next, the fourth paragraph, you will get one more questions. That is, why was Mesopotamia important to the Europeans? Why did the Europeans consider Mesopotamia very important? Okay, Mesopotamia was important to the Europeans because of references to it in the Old Testament, the first part of the Bible. In the first chapter, we have learned about the importance of Bible when we study the beginning of time. And we find that scholars were reluctant to accept the findings made by the early people regarding the evolution process of the human history. So here also, the Europeans considered Mesopotamia very important because they found references to it in the Old Testament of the Bible. Okay, uh, here example has been given. The book of Genesis of the Old Testament refers to Shimar, meaning Sumer, as a land of brick-built cities. Sumer was one of the city of Mesopotamia. And in the Old Testament of the Bible, the word Shimar has been found, which they find similarities with the Mesopotamian city Sumer, and the meaning of that is a brick-built cities. So travelers and scholars looked on Mesopotamia as a kind of ancestral land. And when archaeological work began in the area, there was an attempt to prove the literal truth of the Old Testament. That is why Mesopotamia is very important to the Europeans. They looked on Mesopotamia as an ancestral land. So when archaeological work began in this area, there was an attempt to prove the literal truth of the Old Testament. Okay, next page. Last point for the introductory. You will get one more questions here. Uh, when did the expedition funded by the British Museum started, and what was their motive? From the mid-19th century, there was no stopping the enthusiasm for exploring the ancient past of Mesopotamia. So, in 1873, a British newspaper funded an expedition on the British Museum to search for a tablet narrating the story of the flood mentioned in the Bible. So the British Museum had funded an expedition in 1873 to the British Museum in search for a tablet narrating the story of the flood mentioned in the Bible. So because of this, many Europeans have been very enthusiastic during that time to go to Mesopotamia and find the truth which they found references in the Bible. However, by the 1960s, it was understood that the stories of the Old Testament were not literally true, but may have been ways of expressing memories about important changes in history. Gradually, archaeological techniques became far more sophisticated and refined, and what is more, attention was directed to different questions, including reconstructing the lives of ordinary people. Establishing the literal truth of the biblical narratives receded into the background, and much of what we discuss subsequently in the chapter is based on these later studies. So, in the beginning, many Europeans were trying to prove what references they have from the Bible. However, by the 1960s, many of the Europeans and many scholars have begun to learn that trying to prove what they have found in the Old Testament cannot be true in all the senses. That is why later archaeological work became refined and sophisticated, and so after some time, they began to learn that trying to prove everything with the Bible cannot be true in the case of Mesopotamia. So, what we are going to learn later in the chapter will be mostly based on archaeological finds, however, not on the terms of trying to find the truth from the Bible. Introduction page, question Pali in Dongdona, tuan tu na kan sehoba kan language chung chang kan en phata Mesopotamia rama language omdan an tong pasabe chu Sumerania ma se chu mi tong chu an mang reng lova chuan 2400 BCE a khan aram Akkadian tong khan ron le lwa lan le ta ti chuan Akkadian tong kha engi mochen Alexander hun lai thleng khan an han manga chu mi hnuwa chuan 1400 BCE a khan aramai tong in aron aron lwa lan le ta chuan aramai kan ti hi ke ni kan sha thiam dan chuanin Hebrai tong kan ti a kha anita ni ti chuan kha question da ki den dong don na chu language chung chang tin language chung chang ina aron soya chiang te em chu Helaya an tong manatang hian Mesopotamia rama khan nam sang sang an ron luta ti chuan kha nam sang sang khan an nam lo om sa to te kha an no chim rala an mani atam jok an lo ni zel wangin an ron chim rala an tong ina alwa alan te zel ti na ani theita ni ti chuan an next kan mo le chu Mesopotamia chanchin hi khoi teng ni kan zir tam tak kan mo hi chu archaeology tengin archaeological findings tengin ni ta archaeology mangim Mesopotamia ram chanchin thilhui tam tak an lai chok chu je documents a bikin tablets chu na kina kan zir dona next point a hian chu bang chuan tablets tam tak mu chuan ni written documents hi zia ka an thul da that tam tak hi mu tur al om ta ni tin chung ba ka chuan he statue kan ti te tin khan hlui kan ti te khang sang sang atang khan kan zir theita a chu bang chuan apoi mo ta em ma an building satang te statue atang te grave satang te tools an man ro te an seal se tin an written documents atangim tu na Mesopotamia ram chanchin kan zir tur hi tam tak kan zir thei pha ani ti chuan next point a khan nga tinge European sawin Mesopotamia hi poi anta na poi mo em na chan ti a kha zo na om ta ti chuan Bible Old Testament ring to te an ni thin ta kha hun lai mi European sawa kha chu wang chuan Mesopotamia rama hian Bible an hu tam taka kha proof an tu mani ti chu ta chuan omani chu dikani chu tiang chu omani tiang chi kha chu example heta pe kha pashima ti te ka Bible la mu ni ta ti chuan khati hun lai Mesopotamia ho khopa kha Sumer saif na an nga ya ti chu Sumer rom ja chu brick sak khopui ti na ni ta ni acha chu hun lai ngai to khan brick te kha an lo nei to ngot ami ti te anin sakdan to te han ngai to bang khan chu bang chuan civilization a civilized angi achang kang civilization chang kang tak ani ti akha asia the khang te proof an du wang khan European so khan hei an thla tu te ron om ta chin ram nia an ngai ta wangin archaeological work atan po khan Mesopotamia ram an interest an lun sem ani ti chuan chung mai chon ni loba khati hun la khat Europeans tam tak abekin Britishers ho kan ti te English ho kan ti te khan khami proof tum khan na satakin an lu ta ni chu wang chuan khati hun la khan mi an phura an tui ta chu mi ni ba 1873 a khan British newspaper hian poisa tumin khati anga wazong chhuak du le khati ang zir du akha mi engi mo zat ka expedition a tir ta a chu ta chuan an wazon tumper pakha chu museum a khan enge tablet a omani chu ta chuanin Nova hun lai tuile chung chang kha a oma wangim chu va proof an tum ni Mesopotamia ram kha thlen na hun ni an ngai wa proof an tuma chu wang chu expedition te po kha an tir hian ani chu na question in cha tur po kha ma ro chu 1960s chawa tang khan Bible atanga proof vek tum na kha zoi zoi na lo re chhota a chan chu an proof tum tam tak kha ani lo wani a om lo wani ti mu chana kha lo om ta ti chuan chu ta tang chuan mithiam ten an interest zo ka chu Bible atanga adik na zon ngor ngora ikan an tha tu te ramani ti zon tum na ngor proof tum na ngor kha ani to lo ta Mesopotamian civilization khan chung nun na te poimo na te chanchin tak tak anei ni interesting stories tam tak anei ani ti an chat proof do na alo lian chhota Bible proof tum na ngor kha zoi zoi na lo kyama ti chuan a Mesopotamian culture te history te zir do na lo sang ta chumi basis zok chuan an kalpui chhota ni okay next point you will learn we will see Mesopotamia and its geography. In this chapter we are going to omit many points, so this chapter will not contain many points, so please listen very carefully, and I want you to listen to the videos again and again if you don't understand anything, and only after that you will answer the questions and do your assignment. Okay, Mesopotamia and its geography. Here we will study about the northeast region, and then the north area, and then the east and the south. And what you have to remember is that the south of Mesopotamia is a desert land, but in this desert area, city life began. So how is that possible? In our common sense, we all know that it is not possible to have a civilization in a desert area. But in Mesopotamia, that is possible. So you read this portion very carefully. Here it is also mentioned as Iraq because today Mesopotamia today is now known as Iraq. Okay, Iraq is a land of diverse environment. In the northeast lie green undulating plains, gradually rising to tree-covered mountain ranges with clear streams and wildflowers with enough rainfall to grow crops. Here, agriculture began between 7000 and 6000 BCE. Northeast of Iraq, northeast of Mesopotamia is a plain, and there is a tree-covered mountain ranges, clear streams, wildflowers, and enough rainfall to grow crops. So in the northeast of Mesopotamia, the agriculture began between 7000 to 6000 BCE. In the north, there is a stretch of upland called a steppe, where animal herding offers people a better livelihood than agriculture. After the winter rain, sheep and goats feed on the grasses and low shrubs that grow here. In the north, we find a stretch of upland called a steppe, where animal rearing is possible. Northeast, their occupation is agriculture. In the north, pastoralism, rearing of animals can be their livelihood. And then to the east, tributaries of the Tigris provide routes of communication into the mountains of Iraq. The east has been provided with the Tigris River, which give communication to the mountains of Iran, from Iraq to neighboring country Iran. Okay, the south. South is the desert. I have mentioned that earlier. The south is a desert, and this is where the first cities and writing emerge. The south of Mesopotamia is a desert, but here writing and city emerge. How is that possible? Next point. The desert could support cities because the rivers Euphrates and Tigris, which rise in the northern mountains, carry loads of silt, that is fine mud. When they flood or when their water is let out onto the fields, fertile silt is deposited. The south is a desert, but here cities and writing emerge. Because how is that possible? It is possible because the river Euphrates and the Tigris River rise from the north